Attention, Commanders family! This is not a drill. The season is about to ignite, and Washington might pull off the move of the year. Did you know that one of the biggest defensive stars from our eternal rival could suit up in our colors? Yes, you read that right. Just imagine what that would mean for our defense. But wait, there's more. Two of our players are breaking the mold and emerging as unexpected Pro Bowl contenders. Those game-changing plays that have had us jumping out of our seats could catapult them to the NFL elite. But can they outshine the big names dominating the spotlight? And what about the playoffs? Despite the critics, injuries, and setbacks, our destiny is in our hands. Washington is in control of its path to glory, and the schedule gives us a golden opportunity. But here's the big question. Will it be enough? Are we ready to prove to the world that we're a team to be feared? Demarcus Lawrence in Washington? Yep, you heard that right. This name is making some serious noise, and I'm telling you, is this the missing piece to take our defense to the next level? We're not talking about just any player here. This guy knows how to get after quarterbacks and stop the run. According to Bleacher Report experts, he'd be a perfect fit for us. Why? Because our coach Dan Quinn, who worked with him in Dallas, knows exactly how to get the best out of him. Now, we all know where our Achilles heel lies. We're 30th in yards allowed per carry. What does that mean? If we want to even think about the postseason, we need a change, and we need it now. So I ask you, is Lawrence the bold move we need? Are we ready to put old rivalries aside and go all in on pure talent? Picture this with me. Lawrence bolstering our defensive line, joining names like Dorrance Armstrong and, who knows, maybe even Dante Fowler Jr. Think about what that could mean, an unstoppable defensive line, wrecking offenses, and giving this team a real shot at competing at the highest level. I think it'd be a masterstroke. But are we ready to take the risk? This Sunday, we're up against the Cowboys, and it's not just another game. It's a statement. It's our chance to show that Washington is ready to compete with anyone. This game is personal, both for the players and for us, the fans. I say the key is to seize this moment. If the Commanders want to make some noise in the playoffs, this is the kind of move that sends a clear message to the league. We're here to win. Now I ask you, would you make this move? Would you take a former Cowboy like Lawrence into our ranks to strengthen the defense and fight for glory? While everyone's distracted by the recent losses to the Steelers and Eagles, let me tell you this. There are two players on this team who are flying under the radar, but could end up in the Pro Bowl. Yep, the Pro Bowl. Now I ask you, who thought we'd be talking Pro Bowl after losing 2 straight games? Exactly. No one. But here we are, because Dante Fowler Jr. and Austin Ekeler are quietly balling, and today we're going to break down exactly why. Dante Fowler Jr., the silent destroyer. This guy isn't playing to rack up stats. He's playing to dominate. Fowler came to Washington following Dan Quinn from Dallas, and I'm telling you, it was like bringing a gold piece to the team. This man has 8.5 sacks, the 3rd highest in the entire league. And listen to this, his quarterback pressure rate, 17.7%, ranks 9th among all defenders. Now, let me ask you, what more do you need to see to get him into the Pro Bowl? Fowler is making players like TJ Watt and Khalil Mack look average in comparison. Is that a stretch? Not at all. This man is maximizing every play, even with fewer opportunities than a lot of the big-name guys. Austin Ekeler, the special spark. And speaking of underappreciated, Ekeler deserves a statue. This guy's not just getting overlooked as a running back, now he's shining as a kick returner. Did you know he's averaging 31 yards per return this season? Or that he had a 98-yard touchdown called back due to a penalty? That changes the whole game. I'm telling you this, Ekeler not only deserves to be in the Pro Bowl, he should be a prime example of what it means to maximize every opportunity on the field. So, what does this mean for the team? Fowler and Ekeler are living proof that the front office and coaching staff are making the right moves. Despite the criticism over the recent losses, these free agent signings show we're building a team not just to compete, but to dominate. Now, let me ask you, do you think these individual performances can drive the team to collective success in this stretch run of the season? My conclusion is this. The Commanders are in a unique position. With a 7-2 record, first place in the division is still within reach. But beyond the record, players like Fowler and Ekeler are showing us this team has the depth and talent to overcome any adversity. I ask you, And I want you to respond down below in the comments. Do you think these two silent heroes can lead the Commanders to glory? I want to dive straight into something that has everyone talking. The Commanders control their own destiny on the road to the playoffs. And here's where I ask you, is this really a surprise? Or are we witnessing an evolution no one saw coming? Because let me tell you this, despite the ups and downs of this season, things are looking better than most thought back in August. Yes, we've had a losing streak and a Jaden Daniels who hasn't been the same since his rib injury. But here we are, folks, with a 7-4 record and 1 foot in the playoffs. So, how did we get here? If we look at the stats, we're not dominating with wins against teams with a positive record, but our current position as 7th in the NFC speaks to a team that's been able to capitalize on key moments. And pay attention to this. Critics will say we depend on the downfall of others, but I ask you, is it luck or is it strategy? Because let me tell you something, this team has shown more heart than many others with more stacked rosters. Let's talk about what's next. This weekend, we're facing the Cowboys. And while they're in free fall with a backup quarterback like Cooper Rush, there's no room to underestimate them. Why? Because this league doesn't forgive, and we know every divisional game is a battle. Meanwhile, our wild card contenders, the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers, are facing some tough opponents. So, I'm telling you, this is the moment to hit the gas. Looking ahead, after the Cowboys, we face the Titans, 2-8, and the Saints, 4-7. I ask you, isn't this a schedule designed to secure the playoffs? But before we get too excited, let's remember what December means in the NFL: chaos, surprises, and pressure. The real challenge comes on December 22nd when we host the Eagles at home. Now, I ask you this, do we have what it takes to take revenge on Philadelphia and solidify ourselves as true contenders? Fans, this is what I want to know from you. Do you believe this team has the character and determination not just to make the playoffs, but to make a statement and show they can compete with the best? Commanders fans, after everything we've discussed, now the question is for you. Would you accept the arrival of a former Cowboy like Lawrence to strengthen our defense? We know it's a controversial move, but would you be willing to put the past behind for the good of the team? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Let's talk about Ekeler and Dante Fowler Jr., two players who could make a difference this season. Do you think these silent heroes have what it takes to lead the Commanders to greatness? Speak up, fans. Your comments are the spark that ignites this debate. Finally, and most importantly, do you think this team has the character and determination not only to make the playoffs but also to compete with the best and prove what we're made of? It's time for the fans to speak up and show their passion. Subscribe to the channel and join this family of fans who live and breathe for the Commanders. Here, we're all part of a movement that supports the team until the very end. Hit the subscribe button and become part of our community. And remember, hail to the Redskins!